You know, oftentimes we don't see men show that much emotion in real life, but also in cinema. Yeah. And there were several scenes where you showed a lot of emotion and you cried when you saw a journalist killed and you saw his guts everywhere. It's very gruesome. Why do you think it's important to show men emote in cinema?
Because men do emote, men do cry. I've always found that weird, that sort of aspect that men are meant to be tough and unbreakable in times of great heartache, and I've never quite understood that. I'm a crier. I cry quite easily. You know, I'm not a. I would never be embarrassed to say that. You know, and I feel that I felt that all those moments that I do cry a few times in the film. That's right, but I feel that I would have cried in real life. And to be honest, I think Rawls will have said the same thing on this job. It was always bubbling underneath that emotion for us, you know. It felt very close to our hearts very quickly. And, Matt Heineman, we used a lot of real displaced refugees from Syria and from Iraq in those scenes where we were depicting those places. And it was, very real for them, and there'd be genuine tears and heartbreak from them at times. And we'd sort of document it and put a camera in their face and feel a bit weird about that, but then they'd be thanking us after for trying to continue to tell the truth and, I guess, in a way carry on Marie's message of getting to these places and giving the real details of what's happening rather than how other news is depicted. So, there's this sense of authenticity to a lot of what we were doing that I hadn't really experienced on a film set before, and a lot of the emotion was very, real, I think. A lot of the time, I was a lot of tearful days, not just me, and for all of us on this job. It was just one of those movies.
What's something new you learned about yourself through this entire process, since it is so unique, since you were actually there with real people who were affected by this?
I realised that I probably don't have the capacity to do what they do, to go to those places, and maybe a better, Paul's probably a better man than me for that, and also makes you feel a little bit ignorant sometimes to what's going on, and feel that we don't know enough or do enough, act enough to help people. I mean, that awful statistic that comes up at the end of the film that over 500,000 civilians have died in Syria since 2012 when Marie died. I mean, that's just horrendous. Very hard to accept that figure, People get a bit tired of it now too, hearing about Syria, and sometimes it takes a very arresting image, like a child washed up on a beach or something, for people to stop and even for a few moments take notice of it and see the reality of why these people are fleeing, and yeah, I feel like it's a movie. Listen, it's a movie, but I feel like it feels timely. And if it can, in any type, small way, have an impact and open people's eyes up a little bit to the strife of these people, then that's a good thing.
So, adding to what you just said about 500,000 refugees being displaced, a statistic showed, or a study actually showed, that when the number of casualties goes up or the number increases, people become less empathetic because you don't really know the individual story. But when it's just one person who's affected, everyone becomes concerned all of a sudden. So how do we humanize these people instead of just making them a statistic that people don't care about here in the US?
Well, I think that you need more people like Marie around, because that was what she was all about, telling that she didn't want to hear statistics or didn't want to hear what type of explosion killed them or what type of bullet hit them. It was the real stories of these people and how it's affected them and their family and who they've lost. And that, sadly, that kind of journalism is a dwindling breed, and you wouldn't know what to believe that comes out of places like Syria now, with fake news and tweets being taken as, some unqualified tweet being taken as fact. And I don't know, it's a disturbing thing to think about, that the more people that die, less people care. I think, but I think you're right about that. But